got a new soldier. So, what next?
Security are of utmost importance to Albion.
What's going on with that? Lock it down.
Someone's hacked this. Scan the area.
Auto drive now enabled. Auto drive.
The DedSec resurgence have prompted Parliament to approve the use of lethal force for Albion contractors. CEO Nigel Cass has
DedSec
this to
terrorists
say.
will quickly find that Albion, unlike the police force of this city, is battle-tested and proven in the field.
The Prime Minister's office has called this shoot-to-kill mandate a drastic but necessary
Mad
measure
things are going,
to make
no?
London safe.
Here, your new kit.
It's like crossing the Rubicon. There's no going back to normal. Not once I'm fully in DedSec.
And what is normal? The government says the feds can gun us all down now.
I know all that. Obviously, I want to make things better, but I don't know if I can just abandon my life.
If you don't get involved, nobody else is going to protect the things you care about.
All right. Okay, I'm ready.
Welcome to the Resistance.
Right. Welcome aboard, etc., etc. I'll give you the speech later. Right now, we need you and your big, strong drone friend to get on top of SRS HQ and steal a server. Think you can handle that?
I'm en route.
Auto drive now enabled.
This is London Calling. You're listening to me, Tash, on Buccaneer, your source for what they don't want you to know. This time we're turning our focus back on the media to look at my former employer, the GBB. As we know, the broadcaster has been through a lot of changes since the Hassani government gave in to pressure from its corporate backers and privatised the
Auto drive.
corporation. Today, the GBB is a shadow of its former self. The kind of tool used by the government to circulate openly.
The demands of being a DedSec operative are all consuming, so taking app gigs is a good way to make some extra quid that works around your new schedule. Lots of people will pay well to have their sensitive packages handled with care, and some will even pay you for deliveries. Ha ha!
Ross, how is that even possible? Go on and live your life. I refuse to be treated that way. You're a very strange individual. Sorry, I got a meeting to catch. Nah,
Tell me about him, Bags.
Actually, the strangest thing about him is he's not weighed down by old soup cans at the bottom of the Thames. He has a load of dodgy gambling debts and he's refusing financial help from a rich friend.
On what planet does a gambling addict turn down free money?
You're right, a gambling addict making a bad life choice. Oh, the mystery. You'd better talk to the friend if you want to crack this one.
Good call, sweetie. Set up a meeting, won't you, Bags?
could you back up, yo?
Auto drive now
information that's
enabled.
there. So, like, you know, you remember Out on the Edges, there was this story about when they would take a house by force, they would take any infants and they would crucify.
Auto drive now
And that's
disabled.
a great, fantastic, viral story. And how do you counter that story? With the truth. The only way you can counter it is by saying, no, they didn't. And of course, no one wants to spread that story. No one wants to hear that story. They want to hear the sensationalism. They want to hear how people were victims of violence when in fact they weren't. Or they were victims of insurgent forces when in fact they weren't.
The news isn't neutral, it's a battleground. Here's media researcher and academic Alfie.
The media has, of course, been perhaps the key way in which governments have controlled and influenced their populations. So, totalitarian countries have typically used huge mainstream media outlets to sell one kind of news, one kind of biased news to its population. Of course, the media has always played this kind of key role in methods of state control. I think what's happening now is perhaps even more concerning, where you previously, in pre-crisis Britain, we had perhaps more diverse voices in the media, but now with the GBB, you're really only seeing one brand of news, and therefore only getting one truth. So people end up with a very biased and controlled idea of the reality and the world that we're actually living in. There was, of course, many concerns and many problems, but in a way there were some positive things, that like not all information was coming from one place, and so you'd have kind of far-right media outlets developing, and then left-wing media outlets developing to combat those, and kind of challenge the mainstream newspapers, TV stations, radios, and make sure people were questioning the validity and truth of the information they were receiving. So whilst there was the digital afforded more fake information, it also makes us suspicious and skeptical of information, and makes us question the information that's given.
Target has escaped. Searching. Let's find her. Drone, spread out and search.
Is here to protect you. I feel used to it now. It's a freedom of defense.
Searching for suspects. Updating facial recognition software.
If you are approached by an Albion guard, ask to our assistance. Albion services are here to keep you safe.
Really? Cheers, boss. So I get right. Yeah. Hey. Yeah,
oh, yeah.
Alright, cool. So it's in our favor. Alright, cheers, bro.
Hey, can you believe me that he dropped his microwave all over? How are you? Yeah, the sandwich just opened in my lap, pretty much. Yeah, I know. Yeah. So ridiculous.
If you see something, say something. We are here to protect you. Waiting.
Have you seen them? The selfie things are massive, aren't they?
Protests are dangerous for civilians and have the potential to turn violent. Do not hesitate to report a crime.
Albion needs your help to keep London safe. If you see something, say something.
Albion's authority keeps civilians safe.
Thought I told you to get lost.
I don't answer to you, your fucking majesty. I know my right.
Let's roll!
Purpose to that at all.
It's a blight on the skyline, if you ask me, and it's become the main point of control for millions of people. The system network and Bagley are both operated and streamed from there too.
And don't forget about the self-driving cars too.
I always thought they were just running on their own.
No, CTOS is the big control system behind the cars. There was a point back in the earliest days of self-driving car technology that they operated by themselves. They used to use a series of sensors to see the world around them. Radar, for instance, would look far off into the distance, while LiDAR would detect objects nearby. And while these cars still use some of this technology, Bloom CTOS and its detailed maps and data that it has on London really makes Bloom be able to take control of it. And CTOS can take control of your car if you're parked incorrectly. It's no surprise that it was made mandatory to have a self-driving car.
The The system is so bad though, it's so annoying. Whenever I try to use one of the shareable self-driving cars, I always find myself stuck in traffic jams or roadblocks. Not to mention the accidents. I've heard so many stories of cars shunting into the back of others. I think they're worse than human drivers sometimes.
The technology was meant to make things better, but Bloom has made it so bad that it just makes London even more chaotic than it was before. I'm giving up on the cars. I'm only using the bikes, which are not self-driving at the moment, at least. And don't even get me started on the data. Everything that Bloom sees from your movements around the city with self-driving cars is collected and feeds back into its big information control system.
Oh, not you and Bloom and privacy again. You're a broken record.
Not as broken as our city's cars.
You share your thoughts online. You share your lives online. Now it's time to share your responsibility online. When you see something suspicious, then it's time to speak up. SIRS. We're looking out for Britain. Are you?
You're listening to The Bug.
Nibbling away on the rotting carcass of a once free Britain. Hello, resistors. This is The Bug, keeping the fire of hope alive in the vacuum of today's Britain. Okay, fires don't burn in vacuums. It's a little novelty Christmas light, shaped like a flame, but it's something. It is something to cling to. Joining me, as always, is Alice. And Alice, hold the front page. Technology apparently is here to stay. There's no way around that now. Much as I'd like to go back to the 80s. Why?
A little birdie told me you needed help.
This is about my friend, isn't it? Oh, God. He's okay, right? He's in way over his head.
Go on.
He's destroying his life with this stupid gambling. I tried to help him get out of debt, but no. Now he's off to meet those Clan Kelly thugs. They're going to kill him.
Ooh, sounds like a tough situation. I'll do what I can.
I've tracked our naughty little gambler to a location that's crawling with Clan Kelly goons.
Suppose we should check it out.
All humans must comply with Albion.
Okay, calm yourself. Disobeying an hour. Okay now? Compliance is no time. It's hard, isn't it? Leave! What? You don't want to die.
Pesky robot.
Auto
job
drive
in
now
a women's
enabled.
magazine. It's more secure than a comedian with a drinking problem. It's more secure than a young man who's just got his first motorcycle license.
Finally, before we go today, bug off to the Prime Minister, who has once again FRO'd to who knows where this week. He sure as hell is not here in London. I remember back in the day, Alice, when our Prime Ministers were either incompetent or crooked, but not both at once. But actually, no, I can't remember them being both at once. But incompetent, crooked, and not even in the country, that is one impressive triple whammy. I've had lions longer than his longest spell on British soil in this last year. It's this halfway house I can't stand. Either come back and do your job, or leave the planet entirely. I'm pretty sure there must be a spare space station knocking around where he can go and entertain himself for the rest of the time. Can we crowdfund it? Tell you what, let's make a cryptocurrency out of something and crowdfund it that way. What have you got spare? Jelly beans? Are they still legal?
He's away so often, Andy. I'm starting to think he doesn't like the country.
That is all from the bug today. Fly away, bugs. We are done.
Tick-tock, tick-tock, time is ticking. It's time to give the electorate a good old kicking.
Singing in the Rain meets A Clockwork Orange in this savage analysis of the British political class.
This cabinet, built of English oak. Only upper-class voices were the ones that spoke.
Get a ticket, steal a ticket, break down the fire exit door, just get to see this show. Broken Dreams, the political musical of the decade. Book your seat at the Verity Theatre now.
Coming up today on The Upload, we're talking about Sky Larson, the enigmatic founder of Broker Tech. Everyone knows her name, but no one knows too much about her, and we only really see her these days as a hologram. She was pretty young when she launched Broker Tech, the company that is best known for introducing Bagley to the world. Nowadays, it's hard to remember a world before Bagley.
Bagley is the most advanced, significant AI of our time, and it's really blown all the other AIs that were created out of the water. And I think that what Sky Larson's done with Bagley is absolutely incredible.
Yeah, I mean, I can't really imagine the optic without it. But what do you know about Sky Larson herself?
Not a lot, other than that she's actually pretty incredible. I've followed her work for a long time, and she's always been a pretty private person. I know that she supposedly grew up in the countryside, but there isn't actually that much more we know about her other than this tech that she's put out into the world.
I've always found it a bit creepy that she's so obsessed with this idea of transhumanism.
Why wouldn't you be? When you've got a mind as amazing as Sky's, why wouldn't you want to take what you've got and actually augment it by working with technology, by improving your physical self, changing your body and the world around you, implementing more technology to extend your life and really sort of extend human capabilities?
You sound pretty much in love with Sky Larson, I have to say.
I can't comment on that, but I am a big fan of her work. She's been one of these people that has transformed the world around us, and just watching how her mind works from afar is pretty incredible, because some of what the technology she's introduced has changed how we all live our lives, and Bagley has been this really incredible assistance to humanity as a whole. Did I ever tell you that I actually interviewed Sky Larson once?
Really? I thought she never spoke to the media or anything.
So this was a long time ago, back in the day when she was a little bit more accessible, and she was one of these people that just had an amazing presence. You were inspired by her very being, and she was just incredibly talented and knowledgeable, and one of possibly the best living people that I've ever met.
I'm not sure you're being too objective there. I mean, I imagine she's not very likable as a person.
She obviously despises humanity in some ways. I think she believes that becoming data is preferable to being human. She's one of these people who's extremely methodical in everything that she does.
Our gambler is nearby. I suppose they might make it out on their own, but going off the number of goons here, I don't like the odds. Get to him fast. This is the place. Our man's in here.
I am not resisting, so no need for escalate this.
God! Fucking dickhead! Fucking git!
Please, help.
My bad, they see.
GBB, first on the scene, first to bring you the news. Global British Broadcasting. Britain's first news network. This area is being recorded by the GBB.
solicitor if you don't have one. Please help. Help me.
Yeah!
Yep. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
You sad little creature.
Right there! I'm getting
I'm shot at here!
Cheers. I owe you.
Well done. Let's make sure they're all right.
Eating too much anyway. As a nation, the government's just helping us live healthier lifestyles. It's so hard to diet on your own, isn't it? You need the support of a friend, or a loved one, or a government, or collapsing social infrastructure.
I'll be okay.
Very bad for the environment. So we're actually weak.
Are you okay?
I didn't need your help, you know. I had it all under control. Well, maybe not exactly, but hell. I'm just not cut out to be a con man.
What do you mean?
I deliberately run up a huge debt so they can bring me in. After that, I introduce a virus to drain their funds. I fail to factor in their unpredictability or their violence.
Brilliant insight.
I tell you what, if you can upload the virus for me, we'll split the profits.
On it.
So he was actually gambling with his own life. Talk about raising the stakes.
I bet if we did him a little favor, he'd be joining up in no time.
I found the Kelly lieutenant who should make a great target for the crypto-draining virus.